Thought crime.
I said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Hey, my nigga, I ain't hating, and my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come from slave. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating, and my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies did some cold-blooded killing, rape, and thieves. So why should I be patient?
Thought crime.
I said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Said he pull crime, can't compete with your crime. Sleeping on the floor, crime, can't compete with your crime. Hey, my nigga, I ain't hating, and my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come from slave. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating, nah, and my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies did some cold-blooded killing, rape, and thieves. So why should I be patient? I feel like Babylon and Generation P8 with clean sense, uncommon, can you see straight? Freeze frames by the blockchain, the deep state, deep fake DNA. I'm mobbing with the think tank. You on the block with the guards where the beats done. What makes it loud for a law, get your beats stung.
Yo, 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 what's up? Good morning, everyone. This is your girl, Sincere. Welcome to Thought Crimes, and I'm here with...
Yo, this is your man, Prince Solomon. Good morning, everybody. We hope that you guys are doing very well, and I hope that you're on your way to an awesome bonus and some overtime as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we begin the show, of course, we got to hit y'all with our warning.
All right, y'all.
Warning. The Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters, who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
I want you to win.
Rick Ross, what made you have a change of heart? Recently, you know, you felt like I heard on Hot 97 that you basically said no one is afraid of Drake, and you know you were just giving out an olive branch because your homie French Montana is hurting with what took place with the Splash Brothers. So what thoughts you have on that?
You know what, little mommy, when I come into this room here, I can smell victory on you.
What do you mean by that, Rick?
It's to say, give me one of your drinks. Let me stir it up for you, mommy.
But you was talking about like how that's like girl shit to like be catty, although like there was a whole cat off with a lot of men dissing each other and
tell
it
you
becoming
something.
personal.
Rose doesn't need to chase the cat. It comes to me.
What do you mean by that?
Drake is pussy.
Why you feel that way?
Because he's not a boss. Not like me.
What you mean, Ricky?
Hold on, let me do a freestyle right now.
All right.
Maybach.
Also, Ricky, you have an album coming out. Plug it in, plug it in, and plug it in.
It's called The Girls Sleep.
What the fuck you mean by that? The girl. Welcome, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, what's
Welcome
up,
to Thought Crime.
All right, y'all. You know, I mean,
Rick Ross' spirit was so heavy that Prince got tired.
I got tired. I felt the weight.
The weight
I
of
felt
it.
the weight of it. So
Shout out to Rick Ross though. He's still very funny.
he still makes a very good B plus music.
He pays attention to the internet because after people was cooking him, he said, I came here to clarify that ain't nobody afraid of Drake. You know what I think is going on here? And I talked about this off air with Prince. Rick Ross misses being frenemies with Drake. He loves the fact that, you know, he used to talk about him behind his back, allegedly say, you know, the snow walker with the mutated nose, you know, the white nose. He don't have the nigga nose no more. He liked gossiping about Drake, but also both of them making good music together, you know, and that, but he liked to have, that's their relationship. And I think he's irritated. He could just say it's just about French. But I think that Rick Ross is mad that he can't have that frenemy type of relationship he wants with Drake that they had before.
Honestly, I just feel like, I think they all do it though. I think they all miss this style of dynamics with Drake. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, Rick Ross, you know, his interview, it didn't make no sense. Even when he came to clarify, he confused even more.
Right, yeah. And
So I said, I don't know what you're doing, man.
And a lot of people it's
But
interesting.
I want him to win.
He's
like,
he said, real ones, we
Well,
want you to win.
You know what I think it is? It's
What?
because we got an interview from him while he was sober. So the last time he was a little bit buzzed up, and so he was being emotional. He was being an emotional buzz, you know, or drunk, you know. But look, clearly he misses that dynamic with Drake. And at the time, he was clout chasing, because I get what people are trying to explain. But like I said last time, nothing Rick Ross said to me that it warrant like that level. Like I was like, well, it's not really an interesting backstory here.
But he did add a lot of humor though.
He was funny, but you know,
Because
when
at
people,
first you and I was like, bro,
we didn't need him in there.
We said we just want the millennials to beef.
Yeah.
And then he came in with the champagne track, and it was funny though.
Yeah, he got a lot of stuff going too, by the way. BBL Drizzy, so he actually created an anthem on Drake.
By accident.
Yeah, so
Because you
know,
had King, who does the AI music. He did the BBL Drizzy, and then Metro came on and did the BBL challenge. So it was still a funny event. But have you ever had a situation where you missed that? Oh, first of all, I don't think you even like frenemies dynamics like
No.
Rick Ross like.
I don't even like Friends. So no, I don't like none of it. You know, I think my personal opinion, I have my jokes about Drake. I have my jokes about a lot of them, but I'm going to be honest with you. It seems very annoying to be a popular rapper. Like, everybody needs you for something. They need you for something. And some people are alleging that Rick Ross, or Ricky Rose, as he's now known, Rose, they said that he really was going off on Drake because he did not get a feature. And if that's all it took for you to do that in 2024, like you said, frenemies.
Yeah, I don't even think it was the feature thing. I think he likes that frenemy energy because that's what it felt like. But
he got it with that woman. What's the one that's always running around? What's the one that's always getting at him? One of the women, one of the mothers of his children.
I can't remember.
He
her
even
name.
got it with Gunplay right now.
I know that's true.
actually how you be friends with Rick Ross, a frenemy.
That's what I'm saying, right? Because he did a little bit of the frenemy stuff with Meek too, when Meek was getting his butt whooped by Drake.
Yeah.
In that battle.
Yeah.
Before.
Yes.
You know, and he kind of like.
That's what he likes. What is
Or-
he? He's an Aquarius, right?
He's an Aquarius
It's a
sun,
bit scratchy.
but
It's a bit scratchy.
But it depends on, again, moon sign,
Yeah.
ascendant. There's other things involved. You can never go just only by the sun sign alone. There's a lot that, first of all, it's like, where's your Saturn and Uranus at?
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of people who have an Aquarius sun. You're going to have different aspects and different attributes because of your Uranus, where is that, or your Saturn, where is that. So in your birth chart, let's say you have a Saturn in Scorpio or a Saturn in Sagittarius. It's going to give you a different flavor of that Aquarius sun.
Just like with any sign.
Yep, just like with any sign.
Just any sign. I just know that Rick Ross, he seems to always be kind of like on the halfway ins and outs with people. Yeah, but also, but in his interviews, you see how he talks to people.
Well, he talked to people like Lupe.
Another Aquarius.
But Rick is actually funny though, because
he's funnier.
Yeah,
by far. Even with all of this, look, Rick Ross was so funny last year. No, 2024.
He was very funny.
He was so funny that I didn't even know why he was beefing with Drake.
Yeah, people were like, he probably is clout chasing.
But it's funny.
But it's still funny.
But go ahead, you said about Lou.
With Lou, he's too anally, retentive. It's like it's too clinched. Yeah. And that sometimes it makes things a little bit awkward. But
nonetheless, you're online looking for Japanese girls. So
nonetheless, a great artist. So let's get into it, Prince.
Yes.
We're talking about people upset with Tony and his jokes, and then also you have people who are upset about Lupita being Helen of Troy. You got people crying about that. And we also have...
They didn't know Helen was black.
Then there is a situation, of course, where a lot of people did not read Project 2025. We broke down the fact that they was going to do gerrymandering. And, this is what they were going to do. They even talked about this, planning this during the first administration of Trump. And people forget about the BIE report as well.
We covered that extensively.
Yeah,
during the first time around.
We covered that. Yeah, and it's crazy because you would think there would be more hip hop platforms even back then that would at least touch on some of these important issues, because a lot of people are getting railroaded just for not actually reading. Those are some important issues that we're gonna get to, because we have audios and certain things we want to play to pertaining to what's taking place with gerrymandering. But let's get a lot of the fluff out of the way. How do you feel about the backlash? And I don't even really want to call it a backlash, because it's really nothing is happening to the guy. People are just voicing their opinions. But what do you think?
More like feedback.
Yeah, what do you think about the feedback of Tony's George Floyd joke?
I just feel like it's an issue because there are too many castrated black comedians. That's what I feel. I don't even feel the playing field is all that much leveled, And so, look, people have had all types of jokes. It's comedy. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you go in a room full of comedians, a lot of people wouldn't even be able to make it because they are in the darkest. I'm talking about stand-up comics, too, by the way, to be clear. Because it's all venerations of comedy. It's just stand-up comedy is the rawest form because it's one-on-one with the audience. You're fighting the audience. You're looking to get them to laugh. Even some of them coming there to saying, I don't want to laugh and I'm not going to laugh at you, or I don't like your face. But in this situation here, I felt like when I heard his George Floyd jokes, I felt like I seen them in YouTube comment sections.
Right. It did feel like it was on X. Like jokes that you get with people try to joke on George Floyd.
Yes.
But what's interesting is you did have a comedian also make fun of the fact that Charlie Kirk died. And he did say he hoped Tony gets killed like somebody go out there and kill Tony like they did Charlie Kirk. So I really think that if you're a comedian and you're complaining about this, you should be roasting back. Now, the everyday person, I understand, y'all really stressed out. You have the government against you. You have the tech companies against you, the technocrats. There's a lot going on. Then you have people who want to stick viruses up your asses, like Bill Gates, who's very excited about that. And a lot of people feel overwhelmed, and they feel like a George Floyd joke is punching down, and they already feel punched down upon by society right now. So I understand where the everyday person's coming from, but if you're a comedian and you found what he said offensive, I would have thought there would have been more comedians like just going in on him.
Yeah, because
with humor and all that.
Yeah, I heard it, but I swear, I mean, look, you've seen these type of jokes before. You know, I mean, they're all over X. They're not funny.
They don't be funny.
And so, and I do know for me, I know there's a dark part of my mind that is a little bit different. I just didn't feel the jokes had any punch. I just didn't feel they were funny, you know. And so, and I'm looking at him. You know what? He looked like one of them cheap circus dolls.
Well,
and I'm just saying, he's easily friable, and I don't know where all of the sensitivities come from. I mean, because when I look at D.L. Hughley, he's always crying all the time. I don't even know who's out there. Like, you know, Dave Chappelle looked like he got PTSD. All right. Chris Rock, Will Smith didn't beat him back into a cave.
He's over there hanging out with the alleged sexual assaulter Diplo.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even see. And then the streaming boys, they get scary about stuff. They go ahead and invite people on for the clout, but then they don't make it a moment like embarrassing the people publicly when you got, 20,000 people in the chat. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to chalk this up to whoever feels like they didn't like any of this, especially like you stated as a comedian. Look, y'all castrated yourselves a long time ago, and look, I'm just being honest with you all. This is easily, he's easily pick offable if you want to be honest with you. Also,
like he is a stereotypical white guy though.
It's the same.
Because when he said Kevin Hart, he said cock. He said with Kevin Hart, he said something about
already checked out.
I would be homosexual. I would be homophobic too if I walk up to every guy and my height is on the same level as a guy's cock. And I was like, he's definitely white.
Yes.
That was a very white thing to say.
Suck my cock. I'm going to cock it up.
Richard.
Right?
Richard.
Yeah.
Richard.
Right, Jennifer.
So it is that type of thing.
And let me give you an example. Give you a little bit of a similar premise, but a different joke teller, right? Mm-hmm. There's a joke that, Cat Williams had about Shaquille O'Neal. And he said that you got to remember, he said Shaquille O'Neal just walked up on him and he said, this is not right. This nigga's dick is about to sit on my head, right? Mm-hmm. But it was funny how he told it. When I'm listening to Tony tell a joke, I'm going to be honest with you all. He sound like a crypto scamming bro that just jumped into comedy.
He do sound like one of those scammers.
Yeah, him, Chet Hanks, they all kind of merge together.
I also think I didn't like the fact that he was a little bit hesitant at the last part. I don't know if he messed up, but
you said there was some stammering
a little bit towards the end.
Okay, I get you.
Or even with the joke where it was supposed to be like ninja, and he was joking, playing off of the word nigga. But that was see how your reaction. That one actually I think was the
Jay Leno's children, y'all.
This was the most
that's what I said.
Boring one.
I mean, we can break it down. I just don't know what to say.
Like Adam Carolla.
He's not funny.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't even know. And then Bill Burr, he let the angry people that were upset with him. He let them punch him in his chest, so his whole chest just caved in.
He's trying to recover right now because he went too deep in the whole emotional thing. But the one that was remember the guy who he's dead now.
Right.
There was one who was hanging around with Adam Carolla and the rest of them in that crew. The one who's dead.
You're talking about McDonald.
He was the one that was funny out of them.
I have a theory here. I don't think Tony's that intelligent. Now, McDonald, he kind of got into more risque political vantage points, but he did have a more wittier, intelligent approach to comedy.
And he always talked like he had asthma or something. He had a very nasally voice.
Yeah, and my personal opinion, seeing you and I, we come across these comedians, the white ones, and then people online, they tag us like, man, what do y'all think the white boy said? And I don't know what to say because it's not funny, but then it's just like, they are recycled social media jokes. It's
and it's weird because
it's the stuff that TikTok white. That's what I feel. It's like TikTok whites.
But it's also weird because I see black people most of the time just roast them. It was a white racist on E. His name was E, I mean, on X. And he used to say a lot of, like, wild things. And he got sensitive because black people cooked him. He couldn't handle it.
Oh, yeah, I
What's
remember
that? You know
him.
that ugly ass white boy with the punchable face?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Norm Macdonald was the comedian that we're talking about.
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. He was actually funny at times.
Yeah, what happened to that class of...
He died.
Oh, I know he died.
And then they didn't have nobody to, like, ride on, like, you know, Adam and them didn't have anybody that they could really feed off of anymore.
I'm going to tell y'all something. Angry white men on stage is not as funny as angry black men or black women on stage.
Do you think Tony was angry, though? He didn't look angry.
I don't think I do think he's on medication. He might got autism. Hey, listen.
He's on medication.
Yeah.
What medication you think he's on?
I don't know. Something that make his eyes glazy and glossy.
Let's look at Tony's background. Let me know.
I don't know.
Look it up.
Yeah, because I feel like, to me, when Tony's on stage, he looks like a comedian. He looks like a comedian that they would invite to a Palantir party.
He actually probably have already been there.
I'm just saying.
Yo, let me see where he's from. Okay, he's from Ohio. He was born in Ohio.
Okay, that's enough. That explains it. So he from up there with Steve Harvey.
I was about to say Steve Harvey too.
Yeah, so that explains that. That's enough. I get it. So, you know, I mean, I think the best comedian from Ohio would be Cat Williams, but I don't know.
He appeared on All Def Digital.
Oh.
The roast of Snoop Dogg in 2016.
2016. Of course Snoop will be cool with him.
The roast of Tom Brady in 2024.
You know, Snoop is cool with a lot of boring white comedians. He is. I'm just being honest with you. Listen, I mean, in the George Floyd joke, when did George Floyd pass away? Like, it's like people, he the new OJ joke.
He is the new OJ joke, but a lot of white people think that black people look at George Floyd like how they look at Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and we don't.
So he died 6 years ago.
We just see George Floyd as somebody who rights was violated. It's really that simple. There's no one worshiping George Floyd like a lot of white people do Charlie Kirk,
but
who after he got necked, they were really upset that it wasn't a black person that did it. So they couldn't, like, find an excuse to, like, go on some type of lynching spree or some shit like that. Actually, not lynching. That's actually outdated. More show of...
Like these jokes?
Right?
Yeah, I mean...
like mass shooting.
Yeah, because... and listen, and I want to be clear to anybody listening. Just because how I think with this situation, I'm not saying you shouldn't be offended. I'm just saying I'm not only not offended, I'm not interested. I think it's offensive that there's so many scary blacks around this guy. That's what's offensive to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he connected to? Oh, he was dropped by his agency WME.
For what?
What?
I mean, they save everybody. Aren't they holding on to
Jared Leto, and he's ass.
Yeah. Well,
so they got Jared Leto. You would think they would keep him at WME.
Maybe Tony ain't giving it up.
And WME said they standing by Blake Lively.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I mean, he might not be going all the way back in the rooms. He probably didn't go far enough. He didn't probably go far enough.
He had to have gone in the room to got picked up by WME.
What was the other one? Is he remind me of the other guy that had the one that they said he put liposuction in his lips or something? What was the other comedian? They said it was two comedians and then one went in the room and the other one said he left.
There was like a dark-skinned Jew.
Right.
Who said, well, he's half Jewish and half Arab. And he said he went into a room and he saw a white guy with big lips sucking off execs in this room. So that means he had to have looked, though. But my thing is, like, when you first saw him, did he, like, stop watching when he started to kneel? Or did he watch him put the dick in his mouth before he left?
I mean, either way, you know.
No, I'm just saying because he brought up the story. He said, like, the execs were like looking for which there was like a group of guys, and he said some of them went through the door and started sucking these execs off, and then he said, you know, he saw them do it, and he didn't go in all the way.
But how do you not know you're on a bus with a bunch of dick suckers? Because like they give off an energy.
That is like, first of all, the guy's lips, by the way, it didn't look naturally. You know, like
he got them Angelina Jolie lips.
Yeah, it looked like it was fake.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know that.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. If I see bros on a bus, they're probably doing some gay shit.
Yeah, cause I had a partner, man, and he told me that, you know, he had to get off the bus. He was on the bus with Trey Songz and some of his band members, and he said some funny stuff was going on. And then he said,
allegedly.
You know, allegedly, right? But he said, I'm gonna tell you what he told me. He said, bro, it felt funny. He said, I'm not going to lie, the bus ride felt funny. They pulled over, and then all these other individuals, mind you, these were grown people. They weren't doing no R. Kelly stuff. But he said that, let's say, Young Buck's line of preference got on the bus, a bunch of, you know, individuals, and, you know, he said, oh, what's going on here? And they was like, hey, you know, this is how we get down. Like, you stay or go. And he got off, right? But he did say it felt funny. That's why I'm saying when you was telling about the comedian, like, you know, you can see, you know, you can see if something's going on now. Like, if you riding around in the car with your friends and one of them really heated, like they about to fight somebody, and they hop out the car when they see someone, it's that type of energy. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what Tony was doing, you know, just to be honest with you. But I've seen him, and I know he showed up at CPAC, and I do know the Republicans, a lot of them are trying to get, like, we're getting our comedians in, but also the Democrats ain't got nothing funny either, you know.
I mean, comedy is really dry right now. You got people just whining and crying. They're not roasting, and then also social media it's
altered the landscape,
modified people's behaviors. You know, now it's kind of like when you're talking about pedo, but they want you to say PDF
or grape.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's not what those words mean.
Now we speak in the Planet of the Ape language. And people on YouTube sound stupid every day. So you know what grape is. And when they were graping them, what are you talking about?
And just say sexual assault then.
Well, they got to say SA now.
SA,
right? So, look, it is what it is. But I really feel the biggest sin in this situation, I don't even see any real countering energy to this situation.
Yeah, you got Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was there. What we talking about? He got black. Bro, we can trust Kevin Hart. He got us. He holds black Americans down all the time, bro. For example, how he helped those two black men with the Starbucks situation, and he told them not to sue Starbucks and to go on this like hippie run of like, we're just gonna have a conversation at Starbucks and talk about race. It was such a fucking intelligent idea, wasn't it, Prince? It was great.
It is, yeah.
I've even felt what was so intelligent about it. I felt it had the possibility of like healing racial tensions and issues in America.
I know it healed that woman's pockets.
Right.
She got generational wealth. So shouts out to Kevin Hart for sponsoring a white woman.
White woman did get generational wealth, didn't she?
Yeah, feminism. There you go.
So thank you, Kevin Hart. We appreciate everything you do for Black America
and the white community. All right. Well, also, even now that you brought this up, this did make me go and look at, it says here, 5 comedians making conservatives laugh, right? So what's interesting, they have Dave Portnoy from Barstool. And then
that whiny bitch. He's such a crybaby. Next.
They got Theo Vaughn. They got Bobby Lee.
Okay, Theo, he got stage fright though. He couldn't pull through on the stage.
I don't.
Okay, and then
they got Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan.
Act like he sniffed glue. Shane Gillis is the strongest one they have on that list, and Joe Rogan is not really funny.
Joe Rogan was never really funny.
It's based off of his conversation style.
He's the white Steve Harvey. I just put that together.
Which one, Prince? Is it gonna be Tony or is it gonna be Joey? Which one is gonna be the white Steve Harvey?
I think it's gonna be Joe.
And you can't talk about Steve Harvey anymore.
Why? What'd he do? He shaved his mustache.
He's a.
Can you imagine Steve Harvey with no mustache? That's something you would see if you high. Steve Harvey with
He's
no
a
mustache.
Viltrumite now. So
Oh yeah.
You can't talk about him no more. Yo, Steve.
Viltrumite with a gut.
Steve Harvey. He upgraded now. People fucking with him now just based off of a character looking like him.
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know where they at with it. But yeah, they got Tony up here. They got Shane Gillis, and they got Theo Von. They got Joe Rogan. Bobby Lee's not funny to me. The last time he was funny was on Mad TV. It is what it is. Take it or leave it.
Don't he have mental disorders?
He probably do. To be over there with all of that.
He got.
They got all type of racist Asian jokes for him.
Well, you know what?
It's like an Asian cuck. Just being real with you.
Wait a minute.
People don't fight back. I don't care that you say it, but I get to say mines too.
Let me think about this. How tall is Lee?
I have no. You know what? Let me look that up real quick. Great question.
Because I was about to say, do these conservative comedians like being around
short minorities?
Short minorities.
Kevin Hart.
Like anyone under 5'4", something like that.
You like Vlad TV's height. Let's see here. How tall is Bobby Lee? Let's look at this up real quick. That's a great question.
I wonder if they even gonna have it.
They so cold-blooded. They said, AI says, I'm taking a guess between 5'3" and 5'5".
It's a guess. 5'5" is too high. It's too tall. That's too tall for him. But I do think that a lot of people do. I don't talk about the comedians. They're not doing their jobs. They're just not. And also people they're getting on Shane Gillis too because they're like, yo, you try to put Chelsea on blast for being a Zionist, but like you up there buddied with Zionists because Trump is a Zionist. So I also think that's another thing. Another reason why people are wary of comedians right now, they don't feel that their jokes are organic. They feel that now the jokes are tailored based off of what political campaign they're a part of, instead of just being like, if you organically lean more towards conservatism, even though I don't believe that exists in America, I have never seen a conservative. I just see scammers, like even Moms for Liberty, the founder of that, she is a bisexual woman who was getting ate out by her girlfriend for like 10 years. She actually met her girlfriend before she met her husband. And then, they went on this conservative hoax.
Yeah, the
bullshit.
marriage was a scam.
And, that they got exposed because the husband allegedly tried to sexually assault her girlfriend. Then you have like most of the Republicans are gay in the closet. I don't even when they like conservatism, the idea of it in the United States, it's just so bizarre that people fall for that conservatism bullshit when you cannot point me to one person that's a Republican that doesn't have a Black, Indian, or Hispanic spouse, that isn't in the closet. I mean, I just like
that doesn't have ebony porn bookmarked on their X account or wherever it is on social media. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think the big issue is just that I think a lot of these people, I think there's a lot of fear. And I'm just being real. I mean, they're scared of the internet.
Yoda, tell us more.
Yeah, they are. They're scared. Like, look what Meek Mill was saying. He said it's like if you say something, you could get canceled. I said, Meek, you're not canceled. It's just you say stupid shit. You get what I'm saying? And I think some of these people, they misinterpret, like, they have, like, very sometimes extreme talking points, which is cool. It's your business to have that. But also, if it's a bunch of people responding to you, that's not the PC culture. They're just giving you the feedback that you put out there.
I think if you try to boycott people for their corny jokes, though, if they're a comedian, some people try to hide malicious intentions behind comedy, and if they're not a comedian, usually people don't give them that same leeway. But if you are a comedian, leeway is given a lot because you take risk when you're talking about humor. There's something we made fun of a long time ago. I'm not going to say what it was, but everybody laughed, and what it was very controversial. It was very like, but that's just where it went with it. And so you have to take those risks, but I do understand people just feel that nowadays a lot of comedians are bought and paid for it. Even the Netflix thing, we talked about it. People feel like the CEO of Netflix, like he owns those comedians that were on the stage,
He does. He does. Black and Slavic slaves. He does own them. And that's another thing too, is the monetization situation. Like a lot of the platforms are being based on the internet. Right. So I just think a lot of them suck, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say. It's just, when they're talking about Tony. Now, have I heard some comedians say some pretty dark jokes and it was still funny? Yeah. You can actually go dig in Dick Gregory's history and you'll find extremely dark humor.
Richard
Pryor, Paul Mooney, even early Whoopi Goldberg. That's why a lot of times Whoopi lets a lot of offensive things slide, and people are like, yo, what's wrong with her? But if you go back to her comedy in the 80s, she was on some Tim Burton shit.
She had her white bae dress up in blackface.
So that should tell you
in front of
what it is.
Black actors and actresses. Yeah. Halle Berry, all of them were there, and they all saw it, and it was controversial, and it was weird because Ted, he's supposed to be like, to some degree, a comedic actor to some degree, but that it was out of line.
Yeah, I do feel that the internet it just altered a lot of things, and there's a lot of people that they feel they are their own attention, and then we also got to keep in mind competition. There's a bunch of people that would probably look at Cat or even look at, of course, rightfully so, look at Tony and feel like, well, I'm funnier than them. And you got to think about how many people want attention, too.
And you might be. Who knows?
Yeah, so there could be that dynamic of it. But now, I don't think he's all that important. But I do notice something, though, to this point here, Sid. This is an offense clickbait culture. And the offense precedes the art. So
I get what you're saying because they didn't even show the clip where he got joked on where that comedian who was beefing with Ye, he said Tony should get killed like Charlie Kirk.
Right. So
yeah. And that clip is not showing up. And
that's funny.
And you got to be careful because you do have
backers of these news organizations. They got an agenda.
You have right-wing think tanks that could be trying to put that out there. So
they are promoting.
Tony is the dangling carrot. People gonna fall for it. Then they're gonna be like, well, then why nobody took offense to Charlie Kirk joke about him getting necked up?
Well, it could be that, but this is how you build an industry plan up, though. Like, come on, the song wasn't that hot. Maybe like one girl in the back of the club kind of nodded her head, but it's like it's not song of the summer. And I did think about that. I was like, well, why is his joke being elevated like the offensive is? Because there was a lot of wild stuff being said at this. It's a roast, but the fact that they keep replaying his clip, and there were other people that actually got off on him that were even funnier. I think I smell an agenda there. That's my personal opinion. That's why I said I don't. You got to think rage baiting, clickbaiting. And it is even people are angry and emotional about what's going on in politics, whatever side you stand on. So even here, this takes precedence even over like the brilliant job that some of the other comedians did.
I think the show was a little bit awkward a lot of times. There's something going on with that whole situation. There was a lot of awkward energy there.
You mean there's a lot of eggshell steppers?
It was that. It was almost like they wanted Netflix and the comedians they owned. It's almost like they wanted to show people that comedy is back.
No, it's not.
And it didn't work.
Comedy is not back.
No one really felt it, because first of all, allegedly the joke about Melania Trump was a no-no. And
like I said, eggshell steppers.
and
You say the wrong thing, it gets deleted.
I don't know what the fuck was the point, but the point was
It was like when Alicia Keys hit them bad notes at the NFL Super Bowl, and then they moved that clip out the way and uploaded the whole play.
it's actually scary though that your whole perception of what is reality can be
Removed.
it can be manipulated. It can be also hacked into.
Well, that's one of the things that they're working hard towards. Like, so they talked about this in 1984, right? And they talked about this.
He was born in 1984.
Okay, that explains everything, right? Well, the past is ever changing, right? So it was kind of like the black slaves were really just temporary workers. You know, they worked for temp agencies. That's all. They just wanted a pay raise, right? Or maybe World War II never happened. You know, that's where we're going. And, you know, people are being groomed to that with these streaming platforms, you know? Like we saw it at the Super Bowl. I'd never seen nothing like the Alicia Keys because it wasn't the most dynamic halftime performance show. But we all saw Alicia Keys live hit that bad note. And then when they uploaded the full halftime show, that part was cut out.
Well,
We've never seen that before.
It made Kendrick's performance even more impressive with the fact that when he performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, you know, they had to change it, I believe, last minute, I think, because Trump showed up there. So
yeah, they couldn't do the fireworks.
Yeah, some of the things that they were supposed to use, they couldn't do it. And yet he was able to still put out a great show. Everybody else who was involved, Dave Free and the rest of them, and Samuel Jackson, and nothing was changed afterwards. Like what we saw live is what is on YouTube right now for the halftime show. So it is interesting though when we saw Usher and you know, he had Jermaine Dupri out there. Shout out to Jermaine. And he also had Alicia Keys come out there, and then, okay, she hit a bad note, but then it was like
bad note.
it was changed. So it's like if they could do it for something like that, you know, I feel like they've done that already with a lot of things.
I feel like in the arts, when you see things like that through this technology, especially in comedy, I think it minimalizes the artist's efforts of risk taking. And for me, that's one of the things I got. I feel like the biggest risk, but technically it isn't because, you know, Cat is always going to be on 10. But he comes out, he says everything that most people have been thinking about Kevin Hart for the past 10 years. And he just said it, right? But I think a lot of this stuff, even with Tony, like I just feel like it's just the lack of risk taking, but also the censorship. And they're not really talking about censorship in the right direction. They're talking about how people react to a bad joke. Like I've seen some people say, you know, like who was it? I think was it Theo Von? He did something and he sucked on stage, right? He just sucked. He was ass on stage.
He said it was his mental health.
But then he went to the podcast with like, I think it was Joe Rogan or somebody, and he started talking about the PC culture. And I'm like, no, man, it just wasn't good. You know, and I think a lot of this deleting and blocking and muting people online, like it really it takes the risk taking in the arts everywhere out the equation.
Someone got mad at me for something I said, some gay joke I said, right? And it was on our when we was roasting Andrew Schultz, and I said, first of all, you didn't get what I was saying, and second of all, I'm not apologizing for shit. 90% of everybody laughed. Why would I capitulate to you?
Oh, let me remove it.
Like,
let me remove it. Roger Goodell, could you come here?
Go watch, you know, our documentaries or our pieces where we are investigating Live Nation or some shit like that. Like, you don't have to be over here for when we do dark comedy and different things like that if you don't like it. And that's also to your point. It's also okay for people not to like certain things too.
That's okay. Yeah, that's my thing.
You get what I'm saying?
Like some
things is like if you like 80% of our stuff, but this 20% you don't like, you don't have to like it. But please don't whine about it though, because I'm not going to change something that I enjoy doing.
I just feel like
because you're crying about it.
People are not going to like about anything that you're saying.
Ass. If it's ass, then I'm like, yo, I got to switch up on that. Then that's it.
even if I say something that people like and one person, look, there's a lot of times I say something, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. I disagree, Prince. You wrong, or it don't bother me. I don't care, right? But I just don't feel. I don't feel I see that in comedy in general. I don't. It's too many comedians acting like D.L. Hughley, trying to explain the audience being offended. The only thing I will say I really do enjoy about Kevin Hart more than anything else artistically.
What?
All
You
right.
about to say something nice about
I
Kevin
know,
Hart?
I know.
Oh, shit.
I know. Okay, I know. Yes.
Don't do that, Prince. That sounds a little bit rapey. I don't know what that was.
I'm not looking at anybody. I'm looking at the screen.
I know, but it's like Tony's on the screen.
Why
and
you?
give that
What is
voice.
that? What type of rapist is that? What are you from Mount Olympus? That's what you hear before you get raped.
No, I'm just
You
saying,
hear,
like,
you hear a thunderstorm.
it was a bit creepy.
So
You know, I really love your voice. It's just that time it's like, wow, like, you know.
it's
But go
just
ahead. What
like
was you trying
a
to say?
demigod rapist. That's funny. Go ahead.
What was you trying to say?
You know what? I was just going to say, when Kevin Hart. When Kevin Hart does his Comedy Gold Mine series, and it's just comedians talking with each other, you know, whether he was talking with, you know, Seinfeld, or he was talking, actually when he sat
Monique.
down, with Monique, D.L. Hughley. Actually, when D.L. Hughley did start crying about people in PC culture, but the first half of the podcast was good when he was just talking about comedy, or when he was, I think, chilling with, like, you know, the Eddie Murphys, things like that.
Wasn't Seinfeld with like a 17-year-old when
He
he was
was.
30?
I think the girl's name was Sasha.
Why nobody ever think about canceling him?
Israel. That's why.
Israel is protecting Seinfeld from getting
Better
canceled
not say nothing.
or from getting back. You know, because I always notice.
Right.
I've noticed a lot of celebrities get kicked in the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes I'm like, they didn't even do anything. Why are you kicking them in the back this hard? I never seen an online run or campaign against Seinfeld. And he was 30 with a 17-year-old.
That's an OG Sith Lord right there. But, you know, them having these conversations, I like it. I enjoy it. But I don't know what to say, because you got Tony, you got Andrew Schultz, you got Charlemagne.
Andrew Schultz was licking.
I don't know what to say about the comedic landscape.
It was so disgusting to see.
I don't know what to say,
Did you
y'all.
remember when Andrew Schultz was like crossing his legs
Yes.
and fangirling over Trump? It felt like if Trump said get on your knees, he would have done it.
He would have. He would have got on his ankles.
And he may have, who knows?
Yeah, we don't know what he did with them satellite dishes on his head.
And then his Indian friend, he was next to him, like his legs gapped up in the air, laugh. Sometimes it felt like they were laughing too hard. It's almost in a situation
Inside
like,
joke. We the bad bitches.
yeah, but like,
We the bad bitches.
you know, I don't know if you ever done this before, Prince, but it's like if you with somebody you like, and you start laughing extra hard because you like this person. It's not even if the joke was really good or not. It's the fact that you just trying to, you know.
No, I've never done that.
Okay, but that's what they were doing.
Okay.
It felt really like
when you say stuff, this shit just genuinely be funny to me. When B More says something, it just genuinely be funny to me. When Moon says something, it be funny to me. But no, with Andrew Schultz, I think they said the little Indian guy left.
he did.
Because they kept getting on about his wife.
How can I say goodbye to what we had? It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Who was that nigga that said that note? Like he came in late.
No, they claim that he really want to focus on his career as a stand-up comedian. I didn't believe it.
No.
Because they don't care if you would have lessened your time on the show to do both.
Right.
He completely scrapped it because I do think in this situation the internet may have ran him off. He felt embarrassed possibly because maybe he thought it was cute when his wife was talking about his best friend and sucking his best friend off and all that. But it seems like I don't know. He couldn't stand by and be like, I don't care what my wife does. This is our marriage. Who cares? And he just be funny. and roast them back. I think it's embarrassing. This goes back to our point. I think it's embarrassing the fact that he couldn't roast them back.
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
The fact that he couldn't just be able to just get the humor off, laugh at himself, laugh at them. Like,
they're not funny in the first place, though. And I think he left because he got some tapes out there.
Come on.
Yeah, I think a tape gonna show with his wife and that Italian best friend.
I think the friend is you funny friend.
Whatever.
The best friend Indian too.
Yeah, all right. So, they ran them off. But look, you guys got to be honest. Like, it's just.
He said Italian guy. You
I don't
really
know.
wasn't paying attention to that little nigga.
Yeah, because they kept talking about it. I saw clips. I'm like, who cares about this shit? Like, so what, right?
No, people did. It was funny because people ran to dark guy. The Indian guy, the brown rice, yo, he was on there.
But that's good for him, though.
I was like, okay. I mean,
well, the reason why I say that's good for him.
Him and his friend drilling his wife. All right.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, maybe Schultz gets a turn. Maybe they drill Schultz because he said he wanted to drill Kendrick. I don't know. They was probably telling us why they were laughing so hard.
True.
Right? So I think it's good for him, as you call him, brown rice. I actually absolutely believe it's great for him. I didn't feel sorry for him or his mental health because you've developed this. You developed this thing about like I'm always kind of shoot at everybody else, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't mind it, but when it's time for you to get JFK'd up in the building, like now you ducking behind couches and shit.
He said he's focusing on his career as a stand-up comedian.
He focusing on a PR story to come back. How can I spin this?
All right, Lupita, let's go to some dark chocolate. I want some of your brown sugar.
So we went from brown rice to dark chocolate.
Right, we went from white rice to brown rice. Now we're going to dark chocolate.
Is Tony white? Is he doing? He one of them Italians. They be like, I'm not white.
Let me see if he's a dark Caucasian.
Because let me tell you,
hold on.
Because Anna says she's light skinned. That's why she said it. So she doesn't call herself a white woman. She says light skinned. I know I'm light skinned.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, what is he?
No, you're right. He do look a little bit. Oh, he could be getting a tan, or, let me see.
What is
his ethnic background. That's a good question before we go to Lupita. Let me see.
Because there's a lot of. I mean, you got Vivek Ramaswamy. He swears he's a white man with a strong tan.
He does.
Like, it's so much cartoonish stuff out here. It's a lot of material for comedians, and I don't personally understand why.
But you gotta be careful because sometimes white people just be getting a tan, and then people think they're like something than what they are.
Be careful with that skin cancer.
They do gotta be careful with that. Let me see.
All right. Yeah, because what is Tony?
Let me see.
You gotta be careful, y'all. Yeah, because Dave Portnoy was trying to act like he was a white boy from Boston.
I know he was Jewish this whole time, trying to pretend to be like.
Did you see the white boys get mad at him when they found out?
We thought you was one of us.
They said you're Jewish. And he keep trying to act like he don't see the racist comments.
Well, he doubled down even further. Let me see.
Yeah, so as she's checking out, we're gonna be getting into Lupita Nyong'o. All right, so apparently they're angry, and it seemed like Christopher Nolan's kind of trolling with this film a little bit.
Do you think? You think this is gonna be like the Odyssey is gonna be like a comedic rendition or something like that?
Well, for Matt Damon, I hope it's better than that Chinese wall movie because he's bad with period pieces.
And then he put him right at the center of it.
Man,
I think Lupita is a extremely beautiful woman.
Very gorgeous woman. Yeah.
Like how Greek mythology is being talked about because
Vivek tried to tell the truth one time.
Some aspects of the story does involve the Middle East and Africa, and it's very weird. Even certain
the early Greeks, though, you got to talk about that.
Even certain mythology from Ethiopia is infused.
I don't know why they tripping. I mean,
so even if you go, Helen of Troy is in that particular story is supposed to be this fair-skinned woman. It still don't change the fact that some people are acting like Greek mythology is just 100% white, and it's really isn't. And some of these stories did come from North Africa and East Africa. Not all of it, of course, Some of it was, genuinely created, in parts of the Mediterranean. But there were also stories that carried from North Africa and East Africa to the Mediterranean, and that were used by a lot of Greek philosophers. So it's really weird how much they're crying, especially since most of the period pieces that we've seen in the United States pertaining to the continent of Asia, Africa, even if we're talking about South America, they've been done by white people. They haven't been done by the people of those lands.
They full of it. I think number one, they're going to be putting Lupita's face in them thumbnails to get their Google AdSense money, so they can order Grubhub.
To be fair, I am with you, agree with you that you got to be careful. They could be doing a cultural warfare trick, and dupe people. Yeah. So you never fucking know.
And it's great promotion, right? Because now you're talking about it. You didn't attach rage to this film, and two, I don't believe them anyway, because they old happy asses went to go see the first Black Panther film and they didn't complain about the white guy in it. So I think in this regard, and honestly, if they really looked into the history of Greece, before we get to the Greco-Roman and everything, it's not what they think it was. I don't know what it is they're looking for. I think they think everybody in Greco-Rome looked like Zac Efron.
First of all,
also, I think it's kind of like some fantasy play too for them.
Back then, you had a lot of people from around different parts of the world that ended up in Greece, just like you had so many people ended up in Egypt. I mean, people even forget, you literally had Ethiopians there. You had people from Sudan in there. You had people from parts of the Middle East there. There are certain ancient civilizations that were somewhat like what we see in New York City. Maybe not diverse to that degree, but to act like people weren't traveling to Greece. I don't know. They kind of forget why Homo sapiens survived versus all the other.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of those people that don't even.
They forget that Homo sapiens survived because they were extremely intelligent. They know how to create tools for travel. I don't know why they act like everybody was just stationary. It don't even make any sense. Even in Somalia, you had trade routes from there all the way even to Iran. So I don't.
I mean, if you're talking about from Africa
and Persia and stuff, I don't know what the hell.
From Africa to Mexico, or what it wasn't called Mexico at the time, but people have always been traveling.
Yeah,
they've been traveling because of commerce, merchants,
war,
resources, sex. Folks, people traveled back then for sex too. So
you saying people time traveled for sex?
What I will say is this: I think these people just reflect in their own life. They don't travel from their couch.
I do think the Lupita story is boring.
It is. We going through this again.
It's like it's.
They don't say no when she playing a slave.
First of all, I'm tired of seeing.
Because I'm tired of seeing her getting hit in the face.
I don't want to see Color Purple, 12 Years a Slave, none of that shit. I want to see Lupita stunting. But again, Hollywood is tricky.
Yeah.
They're sadistic. So we'll see what Christopher Nolan is up to.
Well, Christopher Nolan also, you know why you got to be careful, y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This because it's just screaming at all that manosphere stuff, or if any of it is left, right?
Well, it's Elon started it, and then people who have no brain of their
got paid to promote it. Boy, y'all, man, they don't get it. It's a dusty game now. Elon got paid to promote that movie. Because nobody was even thinking about the Odyssey.
Nobody was until he opened up his mouth.
I actually forgot it was directed by Christopher Nolan until the controversy popped up again, the fake controversy. Elon took the money and promoted it, and there's probably some people online being paid by studios to make a big deal, either defending or attacking the film.
I think the manosphere and the red pillars and all the races and all that, it's 50-50. Sometimes when they've been able to successfully try to harm films, but 50% of the time nobody cares about what they said because it's going to be based off of if the film is good or not. I will tell you this, though. The poster is fire.
The poster is fire.
And I don't even like Matt Damon. I don't think he's a bad actor because, I love the Bourne Identity series.
Classic.
I thought he did a great job there. he did a great job. I would say he's a strong B+ actor.
He is.
He sometimes can knock it out of the park, and then he has some duds. So we'll see what happens with this. But the poster is nice.
The poster is gorgeous. You know, cinematography is fire. I'm always looking for scores, musical scores from Christopher Nolan's films.
You want to show them the poster too, by the way?
Yeah, I'm going to show them the poster. Great point.
And it's interesting. You know, you see the horse in the background.
That looked like the horse from Denver, Colorado's airport. That Illuminati horse.
And the Trojan horse.
Yeah,
but
fell on that artist.
But it made me also think. Like I believe in we're in the year of the horse, the fire horse right now.
And that horse is on fire.
Horse is on fire, right?
This horse is on fire. All right. Let me see
so
some.
they can see it. Is it visible?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay,
one
yeah,
second.
that's a
There
nice
we
one.
go. Hiya, there you go right there. Man. All right. Man.
I mean, what do people want us to say on this besides the fact that Lupita, again, she's a good actress, she's attractive, and Matt Damon is a B+ actor who
You gotta
has
be careful with this.
some good works, but I don't know what Christopher Nolan's going to do.
You know why I think there's something suspicious about this
Let
scene?
me look at it. I don't think Christopher Nolan ever directed a bad film, but go ahead.
I don't know. Well, why aren't they complaining about Travis Scott?
They don't care about him.
That's what I said. Like this.
They don't care about it. And then people taking offense though, because Christopher Nolan said that he said he has Travis Scott in the film because it was there was a time where Greece didn't have written. It wasn't. They didn't have a written language.
Who were the original orators?
The continent of Africa.
Okay, then.
The
Look, I told you.
griots.
I told you, boy, this all about
But some black
scamming.
people. But some black
One
people.
of it is scamming, and it's people that are illiterate.
But some black people said, but Travis Scott is more of a vibe artist. He's not really even though you did have griots who played a lot of instruments, but he's not from the angle of more of the orator, like they said, like a Rakim or like a, you know what I'm saying? Like
They live in fake. They living in a fake land too, because y'all know how many blind niggas was passing stories down that they not intricately spit. You know what's crazy? That part of hip hop did cloud a lot of people's judgment, because whether it's people's old grandmamas telling them stories to be passed down from generation to generation, I don't see no problem with it. I don't see no problem with the casting of Lupita. I just think this is a part of the rollout. My personal opinion, you know, I think it's to give it some legs and moves, and you know, and to the point, in what we talked about earlier about, you know, people being offended, you know, by comedy. Mm-hmm. I think there's a segment of the audience that want to feel like justice warriors, or they want some sort of greater cause attached to their dollar, what they're spending something on.
To your point, where I do agree with you, I think a lot of people, some people are lying. I'm not saying there aren't some people who really love Greek mythology.
Yes.
I just think some people are just jumping on the bandwagon because they think it's cool.
It is for them.
For them.
It is for them.
I think it's boring, but you know. Looking at Nolan's history.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any like trash films. Let me see. Yeah,
no, he don't. I don't think he has any bad films or anything like that.
He doesn't. So like, why are the white
what are they
boys,
scared?
The white boys. What are you scared about? You're dealing with a director who doesn't have a bad film.
Let me see some Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna put this on the screen and check real quick. Christopher Nolan films. Because
his filmography is a very strong one.
Yeah.
It's a very strong one.
It's not better than Tyler Perry's, but I get what you're saying. All right, let's see here real quick. All right, let's see what we got.
Yeah, it looked like the lowest one he got was for Tenet.
Boy, they should be stunned right now. Y'all man is coming down off of Oppenheimer. These boys ain't got nothing to do online. Now, he just coming down off of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I like, come on, that's like that coming down off of The College Dropout, Dirty Sprite 2, and then we roll into Late Registration.
It is a bit, bizarre. It's like some directors do have a spotty catalog.
Yes.
His is mostly stellar.
And not only is it stellar, no fat. No fat. You know, some people may say, well, you know, in '98 I didn't see The Fallen, but Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins.
I don't think he has a film that's below a B+.
Yeah, so what are they nervous about? What are they nervous about?
You know what it is. They're not nervous about nothing. They getting their cash up.
That's what I feel.
Focus on that. See that face card? That's a beautiful woman.
Yes, she's stunning. You know, and one of my things concerning Lupita's career, you know, I'm not going to lie to you all. I was getting tired of them having her wash her dress in dirty river water.
I was disappointed in how they had her in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
they had her covered up. Man, I thought she was going to be a bounty hunter or something.
That's what I was
thinking. I was like, oh, yeah, man, Lupita is going to be a bounty hunter or a Jedi.
Yeah, they kind of slowed down her momentum because they didn't want her to really like.
No, that was Weinstein hating, though.
You know, I was going to bring up something of the past, but I'm not going to bring it up because that person deleted their video. Is a famous radio host who called her ugly. But
yeah, you told me about that.
I can't find it, so I won't say it because the person's just probably going to lie.
Well, when they said that, I said, wow, that person must be sleeping with them white men in them exec suits. No, because when you hear like grown men, they start calling women like Lupita ugly and they're in the industry, I always think they over the couch spill and run. Are you in?
No, to your point, I don't care about what like streamers, industry people, Hollywood people say because, you know, I already know they got some weird agenda and the things that they like some of them be sleeping with dogs. So, I mean, like, what?
You know,
why do I care what their perception of beauty is?
Wait a minute. Zendaya's in here?
Allegedly. Let's
yeah,
look at
they said first peek at Zendaya as Athena in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Oh, they're gonna be big mad. Okay, let me see.
Nah,
this.
You know they got a sweet spot for Zen right now because of the Spider-Man films.
No, I'm talking about some of the white boys that have attacked her in the past.
Well, that's because they just want to stare at Matt Damon's pork chop chest.
And do.
Cause look, don't he look like pork chop right up here? Uncooked pork chop.
What we got here? You better be careful because this is exactly what Anna was talking about. You see how you going too hard on the white men. You're going too hard on them.
She looked uncooked. All right.
This is because of George Floyd death that you feel like you have the right to say these type of
People
jokes.
Can say, if you can say what you want to say, it's just if mine's is going to be better than yours, it's just better. We moving on.
To your point, I'm not being sensitive about what white people say.
No, I don't care.
Like
no,
she could cry all day about people jokes about white people. Who cares?
It's a problem when you in the White House.
But she don't care when people talk about nigga, 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 and all this other stuff. People make jokes about a lot of people. People make jokes about black people.
So John Leguizamo's in the film.
Okay, who else?
They got Jimmy Gonzalez, and they said Will Yoon Lee. So there's actually this is a DEI cast. Yeah, look at this. I told y'all there are a lot of quiet, queer, racist boys, and I think they just want their men to be like what is it they do with the boy groups with the K-pop? Like they want all of the men to be together, and then like no ladies, no women, you know.
Well, we got they said allegedly Logan Marshall is in here. Okay. Let me see.
So this
Charlize is in there.
Yeah, I did see Charlize in there.
Okay, what is Paige in here for?
Ellen Page?
Well, it's Elliot now.
Oh, Elliot. Well, I think she's supposed to be playing Achilles.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they were trolling about that last week. So I think they're going to be hitting every other cast member every week.
This is starting to come off
like a rollout.
No. I don't know. It feels like there's mirth to this.
Well, Christopher Nolan does have that.
Like, okay, y'all say DEI. I'm gonna make a really DEI movie and make it well.
Well, I'm sure he don't like. I think I've seen sometimes in the past he said he didn't like a lot of his films being attached to the far right, like
which
the
I
Batman
don't know
series.
why they are. How's this?
Because they're nerds, Sin. And you got to be careful with some of them, the dark ones. All right, let's look at this cast.
Like them black niggas.
Yeah, you got to be careful, David. All right. So look at this. Look at this cast here. Elliot Page, as you stated, Matt Damon, Zendaya, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway. Okay, they got John Bernthal in here, man. They got everybody from Spider-Man, Batman, and the Punisher so far.
Oh, they got Mia Goth. She does a lot of horror films and different things like that.
When you really look at this cast, I mean, yeah, like you said, Mia Goth, no eyebrows. You got Travis Scott. All right, you got Himesh.
Travis Scott also don't got no eyebrows, too.
Himesh Patel, Lupita, Ryan Hurst, Corey Hawkins, John Leguizamo. Honestly, this is like a pretty decent cast here.
Everybody in the cast can act. I mean, I'll say that.
That's why I said them boys that cry about this stuff that aren't a part of the studio guerrilla propaganda that are, they just promoting the film by creating controversy.
You got a mixture of B+ to A+ actors and actresses on here, and when I'm talking about acting capabilities and skills, with the exception of Travis Scott, because I don't know what he can do until we see him.
Right. Yeah, I just think my honest opinion, I think there's a lot of, you got to be careful with all this race talk with some of these folks, because I always find a lot of those people, I mean, they didn't support the Daily Wire. Like, think about anything like the racist, whatever racist platform they have, it always go bankrupt. Like, they don't support it.
I don't believe white racists in the United States because they always flock to where minorities are. So I don't really pay much attention to them. They
always flock to where the seasoned food is.
Now, if you have anything else to say, we'll also talk about voters' rights, gerrymandering as well. We talked about this already for Project 2025, but we'll talk about it again. We went through it and talked about it, and also they said they was going to do this during the first administration, during his first term, with his first administration in his first term, he talked about doing this. So let's get into that.
All right. Well, I will say this, and you guys can check out Democracy Now. But a lot of people have been covering it as of now. But my only thing about it, again, I don't want to be in a situation where, you get upset or irritated because you felt like when people had real estate to move, but they preferred to tell everybody like, oh, nothing's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, they showed you what it was when the BEI was put out there, or the BIE, right?
BIE report.
The BIE report was put out there, and there were a lot of concern, astute political pundits. There were individuals. There was politicians just in general. They said, look, this is actually quite alarming, and you're also putting any particular content creator, having them on watch with the BIE report. And at the time, including the Democrats, they said it was, as they would say,
It was a nothing burger.
Right? And so it was stated in Project 2025, people, Steve Bannon talked about this, in the first go round with the Trump administration, what they were looking to do. And I just feel like they don't believe it because the people are white. That's all I just feel, because, even right now.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, how, they don't even comprehend the fact that she didn't even apologize to Rashida, who's a Palestinian person. She led a witch hunt against her. Because AOC and the whole bunch over there, some of them try to play loose ball with Israel a little bit, but there was some of them, they didn't play any ball with Israel. And Rashida was one of them. And Taylor, she led a witch hunt against that woman, and including other people in Congress who were about freeing the people of Gaza and the Palestinian people. I'm actually really shocked, but not shocked at the same time, because we did explain this on our Patreon already about what was going to happen with the white national movement getting smarter, and they were going to go into other hubs because you already have them fused a bit with the Zionists and in the Trump administration. But it's interesting how the people who like Jimmy Dore and the rest of them,
oh my God,
how they just opening their arms to a person like that without her even apologizing first and talking face to face to the people who've lost so much while trying to protect their people, trying to defend the people of Gaza, like to not even think about, wow,
No, they're not going to do that.
the redemption is possible, but let's see this woman actually talk to the people that she harmed that were, and remember, that was wasted time. Everybody she shot down when she was being a puppet of Trump are people that were 100% trying to save the people of Gaza while she was being selfish. And then now you got people like Jimmy Dore and the rest of them, like they just quickly like, oh yeah, yo, she's a part of the club without no apologies, like just no sorry yet, no face to face, like her, showing a strong backbone and saying, I want to speak to everybody who was a part of trying to protect the children of Gaza, trying to protect also a lot of the people in the United States that have been victimized by the U.S. government, resources being stolen and all that. She hasn't done that yet. She has said good things that people with common sense already know, but she hasn't even tried to break bread, at least not yet, with the people who,
and she won't.
She participated in a witch hunt against.
She won't, because she's not required to. And two, the Democrats don't have an identity, folks. They're scared. They're scared. Look, what's been going on with the Voting Rights Act, okay? This was already stated on the podcast. In fact, they're going to be moving even further. You saw what happened with affirmative action and the DEI programs and what we talked about with the BIE report. And not only that, remember, Jeff Sessions was in office the last time around.
And we broke that
He
down.
actually would have fit in more with this administration.
It's
right?
just that Trump didn't like him.
Right. But remember, Jeff Sessions was prosecuting elder black folk that participated in the civil rights.
And remember what Steve Bannon said on that, Prince, who is also in his a Zionist. He's a proud Zionist, by the way, and he was in the Epstein files. And Jimmy Dore and the rest of them, they don't have no common sense on these type of things. But he is the one who said Sessions was going to get the ball rolling. And even though, he knew that him and Trump wasn't going to get along, he knew that Jeff was going to build a foundation. The Epstein files has shown the two groups of people that they despised the most was the Palestinians and black people. And a lot of people who claim to be about free in Gaza, some of them is like they have some tension with black people. I'm not talking about the people on the ground. I'm talking about the people on the microphones, like Anna, some people with the Young Turks and stuff and things like that. It's like, do you not comprehend what has been documented? They just said the way for them to police the entire world is to destroy the people of Gaza and to destroy black people. Like, they literally say this in their own documents. And it's like, la, 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 well, I just don't care. And I'm just going to trust people who used to be puppets of Steve Bannon and also Donald Trump with no type of vetting.
Look, it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with y'all. People may not like it. And I know we have a lot of people that listen to us that do understand what I'm about to say. They're scared. They're scary, you all. They're very scary. Most of your liberals, your liberal whites, your progressive whites, your centrists, they're scared of this man right here. Donald Trump is also paranoid himself. He has been using the judicial arm of the United States government to deal with his ops. And what has happened in this regard, this is what's happened. The Democrats, and I said this before, they've been having the itis ever since Barack Obama came to selection. So once Barack Obama became president of the United States, of this particular grand, large company, because that's all America is, it's a giant company, they felt we don't have to do anything else. In fact, we could just kind of roll Obama out when we feel like it. Meanwhile, you got to understand with the Republicans just in general, it was a party that had been largely gutted. They they were in disarray after Bush Jr.'s 2 terms. They were disliked across the board. And so they became hollow within inside, and Donald Trump was able to fill a void or at least take overt leadership of the party. And so that became his party, and Trump crosses all boundaries, all lines, and he's a bully, so he moves things around. So
Steve Bannon is also very important in that.
He's
because
very important in that.
He led by saying we're getting rid of the neocons, but he's a Trojan horse too. So there's something weird going on because he's a Zionist who is also on the Epstein files a lot of times. So he's also for marginalizing black people, for experiments being done on black people, and for Gaza to be turned into a resort, the Gaza Strip. And he was leading the charge in getting rid of the neocons that are also, of course, Zionists. And then now, a lot of the people who were under his doctrine or under Dennis Prager's doctrine and stuff, now they're also a part of the truth movement. And everybody is going to them with no vetting.
Well, it's because, like I stated earlier,
it feels like some big setup is about to take place.
They're scared because they're all getting in line. You're right about that, but they're all getting in line because Project Third Term is a real thing. They talked about the BIE, what they wanted to do concerning the BIE coming into office the first time. And then they talked about the Voting Rights Act, right? And they got what they wanted. Now, mind you, a lot of these Democrats and all these other people, they're seeing all this and saying, well, how can they either adjust with it or how can they cooperate with it or whatever the case is? You get what I'm saying? So what you're going to be having in that regard, you're going to be having a situation where you're going to see them continue to look to throw black people under the bus. Because what they did, let me tell you what a lot of these folks did. They looked at the votes where damn near 92% of black people, 92% black women, and 89 to 90% of these black men had voted for Kamala Harris, right? Whatever the case is. Because the Democrats' whole thing was Trump is a dictator. Trump, he's coming to take everybody's rights away. We got to do it. So, here come the black community. All right, guys. All right, girls. Let's get out there. Black people went out there and they gave it their all, but the whites didn't. And the psychology of many people in this country is that, well, I saw a bunch of black people out there. They're always protesting. Like, they usually deal with it. They knock it out the park. But not all of the white people voted in that direction. In fact, Trump this time around got more white women to vote for him. Despite all of the broad burning talk that you see on The View and all of these liberal and progressive media platforms. And remember, progressive media, or the progressives within media, it's a slogan. It's a talking point. It's marketing. It's to highlight and put an identity on my media company, right? So they were really focused on the idea of Donald Trump, and because the Democrats and the progressives lost, but you saw 92% of black women vote for Kamala and 88 to 90% of black men vote for Kamala. Instead of saying that they can really look at the situation, well, why did more white people ended up voting for Trump? Also, the whole situation with Starlink, they're even scared to talk about that because you don't want the DOJ to get on your ass. You don't want a random warrant at your door. You don't want a random knock. All right? So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be screaming, what's going on with Israel and Gaza, but still in America cozying up with racist whites that are disrespectful to black people. But because I'm saying free Palestine, I can still kind of look like I am concerned about humanity, because that's the talking point that Anna and Jink and a lot of the white progressives that keep saying.
Jink is white?
Well, I don't know.
I'm
well, neither is Anna, right? But do you guys get what I'm saying? And so black people online, I'm seeing them on threads. I'm seeing them on TikTok. Black people online have very, 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 very sharp insight. They see exactly what's going on right now. And the progressives, the Democrats, the DNC, they all are scared right now.
But Kamala
they
Harris,
don't have a plan.
She did mess up with not just straight out saying she's for reparations, and she's also was too favorable towards Israel too. Yeah. And one of her mentors is Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton's husband.
Well, you already know that's in the. That's already a wrap.
Hillary Clinton's husband is in the Epstein files, so it's just the fact that I understand people's like wanting to take their time while Trump and his legions of doom destroy everything. They want to take their time to figure things out. But I do find it interesting that plants from Steve Bannon have spread even further, and it's very interesting. And it's and also people forget that the TYT founder used to be a Republican, and then every liberal and progressive that comes over there, they come out, being very favorable towards. Well, Jimmy Dore said, if you say white nationalist is a psyop, I find that interesting because you and
know what
I,
that's about.
We're about to go into that. You and I, for example, we have zero ties to Zionists, right? Never went on Daily Wire, PragerU. Never went into the hip hop industry just to take money from people who are bombing kids in Gaza. But it's very interesting that he says white nationalist is a psyop when in the Jeffrey Epstein files, they show that Epstein was working with white people in power, and the two groups of people that they said they really wanted to bring to their knees were the people of Gaza and black people. And you know what's interesting? Most progressive media did not talk about the black people part. Experimenting on black people, seeing what works on certain populations. It's like whatever happens negatively towards the people of Gaza, the Palestinians, and the black people is an experiment that's going to lead to the brave new world. Some type of experiment that's going to lead to a lot of things that we don't want. Like even before when they show the data centers where they alleged it was only going to be in black neighborhoods in Tennessee and stuff. And now they see that it's actually in white neighborhoods, and people are talking about eminent domain. Eminent domain has been used for decades to remove people from their land and home ownership. It happened. Reason Magazine did a great expose on 300,000 black people that were misplaced out of New York because they used eminent domain to get rid of them, even though they owned the land, they owned the property. And, Seneca Village was destroyed to create Central Park. It's the atrocities of the past. I think a lot of the people who claim to be progressives and telling black people what to do.
Right.
The atrocities of the past is why you're getting atrocities in the present. And it's like, are you too slow to understand that? No. Even a German family who lost their home because of eminent domain. This is a long time ago. And they lost their land because of this. At the time, Germans weren't considered to be white. They forget that, there was a time in American history that especially they thought the Irish was the lowest of the low. And then in second place of the lowest of the lows, Italians and stuff like that. But it's actually quite interesting that people haven't really put this together, that the classifications of white and black from the U.S. government
through policies
is it's a caste system, but eventually it's something that they're going to turn into more of an elysium of the haves and the have-nots. And it's quite interesting how people haven't just been paying attention to this. And it's like people think it's all about, you got to vote for Kamala Harris. On the other side of that, Kamala Harris and Obama had certain people in their circles or people who work with them who were in the Epstein files. They weren't in the Epstein files, though. I repeat, Kamala Harris and Barack Obama were not in the Epstein files, but some of the people they work with were in the Epstein files. And Trump himself is in the Epstein files, including Steve Bannon. But it's like people don't understand. It's not saying like you got to be down with Kamala Harris because she is still too favorable of Israel, and people don't even want that right now because of Netanyahu and certain leadership that is really corrupt in Israel. But it's quite interesting that they completely have trust in a lot of these outlets again that were groomed by people who were in the Epstein files directly.
Well, look, let's just put it this way, you all. Okay, so the court ruling with what took place with the Voting Rights Act, it actually came on basically the anniversary week of Bloody Sunday. And that was March 7th, 1965. Approximately 600 marchers led by activists, including John Lewis and Hosea Williams, aimed to march from Selma to Montgomery to demand voting rights. Again, done intentionally.
And the new Attorney General is against voting rights in the Civil Rights Bill. And Charlie Kirk was groomed to be against the Civil Rights.
What do you think this is?
Bill as well.
And I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of your Democrats and your progressives, the white person, they are a part of it. They are considering it. They're already cool and friends in media with people that are 100% for it. They just haven't found the right time for their brand to let everybody know, because they still want to be able to get paid, right? Because they don't want things to be in disarray like what's going on with TYT, right? But this is all a part of the plan. And then soon after they, focus on this, the end goal is the Bill of Rights. And I do want people to understand that. A lot of people can be cute, like even when you bring up Jimmy Dore. I mean, by the time they get done gutting the Bill of Rights, he's going to be dead anyway. All right?
Bill of Rights, the Civil Rights Bill.
Yes. So
the Constitution.
That's what they want. I mean, and again, this is a very serious situation here because everything this man said that he wanted to do to terraform government, or at least the people that are behind him, they have been getting it.
Well, and also remember Charlie Kirk himself, that came from that sector with the Steve Bannons and all that. He was having a change of heart towards the tail end about the children of Gaza, and that's what people speculate one of the reasons why he may have gotten murdered, although on paper they're alleging that this was a crazy lone wolf white guy who necked him. Yeah. But
and people should keep this in mind. We know with Chief Justice Roberts, his vendetta, like they're stating here, he's been doing this since he got out of law school. I want people to understand when they put him in office, and this is what we're talking about reading. One of the things that's sitting out, we did talk about with all of when people was crying about all of the Kavanaugh hearings and things like that. Roberts has always been against the Voting Rights Act since the 80s.
And he's probably quietly against the Civil Rights Bill. Now, this is important because, since people want to act slow, we call people splinter cells. This is why you even have CIA agents talking to podcasters. And I just think a lot of people are just, you're not ready for this and you can't compete with them because you're not wise. They have already put agents in every truth movement. And they've put Fed agents everywhere. So the moment it's time to now go to the next stage, they're going to do that. They got sleeper cells everywhere that are against the Civil Rights Bill. That, whether we're talking about the Supreme Court, people's masks have already been ripped off. Whether we're talking about those in entertainment, whether we're talking about those in government, and that's also why, there are some, though, black people that were upset about where the Supreme Court went by having Trump be in the White House again. Many people think just on a basic level that was not the wise decision. You're supposed to be trying to dig as much of these people out as possible, not keep giving them more power to keep killing people in Gaza and to keep doing what they're doing, not only in the United States, but across the globe. I mean, you got Bill Gates out here. He's gotten, even though you would think he would be depowered, he's allegedly waiting for another pandemic so he can still continue to gain further power. In fact, we talked about John Boyd and what he was talking about with you don't even have like black and white enough progressives that are even platforming him, where he's talking about how Bill Gates has taken up so much land in the United States, and people thought he was going to be out on the outs with the Trump administration, but he's still on the end, and he still is going to be pushing for a lot of different things pertaining to certain vaccines and viruses, and it's a madhouse.
Well, I want to say this real quick, and let me tell you something again. The strongest weapon that this administration has, it's the Supreme Court.
Very strong weapon.
Hands down. Hands down. And they were, I would say, around Biden, there were some chances for the Democrats, right? The Democrats, they do spend too much time plucking each other's hair out. And they do too much vetting. It's too much vetting. If it's a singular, they look for one singular issue and they destroy. They destroy. Remember what I told you at the beginning of this, particular show here. One thing about the Republicans that make them very tenacious is they implement long-term political goals. Gutting the Voting Rights Act for them was a 50-plus year challenge.
What do you think,
right?
though, about the fact that for them, they don't have to, they had to place a little bit nice, like when Trump says the Project 2025 is a nut job. Like, they had to play a little bit, but they don't have the same type of restrictions that the Democrats have, because the Republican Party, first of all, they already know their assignment. They were never going to put a hero in the Republican Party. Trump is not a hero. It was just dumbasses who thought he was going to do things for them that's going to be in favor of the people, which they were completely Looney Tunes to even think that. But entire party,
that was the point. It worked, though.
Is like the 99% of the party is corrupt. That's why they didn't even get nobody like Ron Paul, whether you like him or not. He may have done some things that the people would have been genuine for the people. They got somebody who's 100% corrupt. The problem with the Democrat Party is the war that's happening is they were trying to get their corrupt person, but with the velvet glove. Like, when you are a corrupt Democrat, you have to pretend to be a good person. When you're a corrupt Republican, you don't even have to pretend to be a good person. And so now there's the civil war that's in the Democratic Party is because they espouse so much of these high morals and ethics and all this other stuff that now people are saying, well, we don't want a fake good guy. That is the velvet glove that is going to bring us towards evil, but it's going to be inclusive. Like, you could be gay, you could be black, you could be all this, and we can go to a brave new world slowly, but with a mixed society that's involved in it. You have people like, no, I want that. We want a real true hero. And then the Republican advancement, where they're advanced at, is like, good. We don't got to do none of that bullshit, because we could straight up just lie and cheat and do what the fuck we got to do, because we don't have to even put on the mask of civility. We don't have to do all of that work
because of,
to try to pretend to be good people.
It's just the Democrats disagree too much on bullshit. I mean, we've seen it just even within localized black culture, under the Obama rule or even Biden. Look at, even if you're talking about black folks that were platformed on the Breakfast Club and they just disagreed, about something within the Democrats, their whole career was maligned. No book tours from them, nothing. And
Dr. Cornel West.
Yeah, look what they did to Dr. Cornel West.
But it was designed to be that way, though.
The reason why I'm just saying, just to say this real quick, you're not wrong about that. Policy-driven, getting agendas done, and also recognizing what the power is, and there's a lot of moral standing. And right now, even within the Democrat Party, most of their identity is just simply they're anti-Trump. That's what they're wearing to people. But, in between, making that connection with their voters, or even disenfranchised voters that, If an opportunity happens, they quote unquote they will not vote Democrat if they feel that this other guy or woman offers a better deal. They don't really focus on that, you know.
Hakeem
and so,
Jeffrey was in the Epstein files. The point is the Democratic Party isn't really the good guys either.
No.
It's not designed that way. They're designed to be more open-minded in the sense of you have progressive think tanks. You have left-wing think tanks that feel like populations around the world that we think are lesser than can be integrated in. They're not trying to have someone who's authentic become the front of the Democratic Party, just like the Republicans aren't.
it's a duopoly.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Republicans have they're advanced in the sense that they don't have to pretend to be
Because
good
they play their role.
or give anything back that creates some form of balance.
The Republicans, they're the Harlem Globetrotters, and the Democrat is the other team that don't nobody remember their name that they keep losing every time. It's that simple. And what they do is they frustrate the general American public because people's lives are affected. So when Elon Musk blows in with Doge, people lose their jobs. Then they have to go on food stamps, to try to cut things in between. But then Democrats are playing this weird backhanded game with the Republicans where they jammed up people's food stamps right before or right around the time of Thanksgiving. And the reason why they don't really care because they're kind of like in their ivory towers. Like even right now, one of the main focus is that Trump says, in theory, he could appoint 2 more justices. It could be 3. He said it could be 1, depending on what takes place. He even alluded. He says he praised Alito, and he said great justice, and he said that he is prepared to appoint a replacement should Alito retire. So one of the big things that I will say the Republicans made a grand play with is the Supreme Court. And from that point on, and now people are having conversations like, well, right now, should we add more justices?
Well, the gun is a smart gun. It's a simple gun, though. I mean, the Republicans' tactic doesn't even have to be that sophisticated. For them, all they got to do is push white nationalism and white supremacy. They don't really have to do that much. And and literally, this is how stupid the public is. They thought a guy from a wealthy background was going to be for the little guy. It's like Trump is a New York City slickster.
Yeah.
He's big business. It's like you saw with Live Nation. He's like, oh, okay, no hard feelings. Like, no, just pay the money and y'all good. Y'all can stay. Y'all can have a monopoly on whatever y'all want. It took for the states and the regular people to come up and be like, no, you don't, Live Nation. You're not just going to get away with that. He's been doing the same thing with other technocrats and stuff like that. It's too much filth and toxic energy from the dark side of human psychology to have to clean up. A lot of bad things are just going to have to happen, and they're going to continue to get worse because people are too busy grandstanding. People are in their ego. People want to be seen. So because of a lot of that stuff, I don't think positive outcomes are happening anytime soon. It's too much slush to get through the human psychology. And then also people are lying to themselves about a lot of things right now. It's like, it's very simple. Their game plan, they re-engineered what the people behind Obama and the Obama administration did. They just re-engineered it and simplified it because all they have to do is appeal to whiteness. And then once that works, then we can
They're doing it all the way around.
And also, and to your point, even the corrupt Democrats, they did get too lazy on the Obama juice.
Yes.
Obama was very charismatic. He was also groomed to be very charismatic, but he is also a really great student. He studied very well, not just when we're talking about in Harvard University, but we're just talking about even human interactions. And, because of that, a lot of them got lazy, and they to the point where they even got a Kmart Obama, Hakeem Jeffries with no sauce. You know,
They did it with Kamala.
yeah.
So it's the same thing. And listen,
and that's something you also said off air. You know,
Yeah.
when we were
Oh, yeah,
talking, you
yeah.
said the Democratic Party
Yeah.
had got very lazy
after-
with the stimulus of the Obama.
I'll put it this way. They had Obama. They had culture. They literally have everything that the MAGA white supremacists have today. They did nothing with it. But cancel actors and actresses' careers that didn't agree with anything or didn't say anything, right? So think about this.
Biden made that worse. Yeah.
You had Barack Obama. I think they had Congress. They had Jack Dorsey. They had Twitter. You had the attention of the black youth.
The same technocrats that are for Trump, just so to simplify what Prince said when he means by they had Jack Dorsey. All the technocrats that you see right now working with the Trump administration, they were all working with the Obama administration. Elon had a great relationship with Obama. Zuckerberg had a great relationship with Obama, and the list is a very long list.
I want you to think about that.
And they liked him.
Absolutely, and just expansively here, Obama, the technocrats, Zuckerberg, you had Elon Musk. He was a darling. They said he was Tony Stark's at the time. You had media. Breakfast Club had more power. Hot 97 had more power. You had the network. Yeah. Well, they were losing against Power 105, but
I was trolling. Go ahead.
But no, they did have more power because Ebro and them niggas, they gone now, right? Mm-hmm. My point is that they had everything. They didn't do anything. These people have the same shit, literally, even with the technocrats, the same techno oligarchs, right? Different philosophy, different drive.
Even Anna sucking off Nick is a really weird thing because Nick said he's pro Jeffrey Epstein.
But she was sucking off people under the Obama administration.
As she did with the Biden administration, now with the Trump.
So again, this brings me, this really
they pass around everywhere.
Yeah, this just brings me back to the Tony conversation. I don't know what to say when you keep seeing like just people doing stupid stuff. It's like, what do I say about it?
Going from the Jedi to the Sith, and they both have a lot of major flaws.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff, literally, like even with and look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to be like a mean person here, but I do see some willing people that their message has been very consistent even before all this stuff got going. But a lot of people did play around, and like that's why I bring up. I said no, they had Barack Obama. Michelle was dancing on the lawn. It was Jay-Z and Beyonce. I think the Democrats, they just got lazy.
I try to be balanced with it though, because as much as a lot of people have pushed for this bullshit, is a collective karma of the United States. It's a collective karma of the people, because sometimes the people act like they don't have no play in it. You do. Every time you don't listen, you ignore problems, you ignore inequality, it's going to fester up somewhere and expand.
It's going to show up at your doorstep.
Like eminent domain right now with the AI data centers, where we'll get to that in another show. But I will say this, when the people stood up and didn't allow Live Nation just to get away scot-free with what they were doing, mocking the American people, pricing people out even beyond just the United States, even globally, and they stood up and did something about it, there is still a chance for people to pull it off. But to Prince's point, there's no room at this stage for bullshit. That's the problem. Is like we do have some sharp shooters. Man, there's so many beautiful people in the United States and abroad. Like there's just so many people who are very focused. You know, again, giving even Tommy Dorfman his credit and other people, like how focused they were with
from the
Live Nation and Ticketmaster, like in that dedication. The only thing that sucks about media is like they got to focus more so on those type of sharp shooters. You do have people in their own respective category, whether it's for the Free Gaza, reparations, ending Live Nation monopoly, other monopolies. You have these sharp shooters, and you need to get these sharp shooters together and support them. And then you will have a chance, but you won't have a chance if you just like this shit.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like what are you going to do? They're putting a crack pipe in their mouth, They're getting high. They putting meth in their body. They're getting high. Then when they're coming down off the high, they having the withdrawals, and then they're saying, I want to change, but they're picking the crack and meth back up again and starting the process back over. So from my vantage point, I'm not looking to go insane from seeing something so silly. They made a bad move in Virginia, and a lot of people were not really, breaking it down about what took place. It wasn't really based on racism. It was the idea that the Virginia Supreme Court says, look, you guys didn't do the protocol, and it's a more protocol-driven court versus anything ideologically like, what Justice Roberts is doing. Clearly, it's an ideological drive in his rulings.
Well, I think that's what the Democrats were disappointed in. You see how you did what you just said there? His ruling wasn't based in protocol. So then I think some of the Democrats and the people who support the Democratic Party are like, well, then why couldn't the Virginia Supreme Court, do the same thing? Now, before we even get to that back and forth, I do want you to, before we close the show, I do want you to break down what took place in Virginia so people can understand what you're talking about pertaining to protocol.
Yeah, well, so the gerrymandering situation that, now you having Democrats that are saying, It's a toss-up because you have people that are online that are, and I do want to bring this part back in, because I want to bring you in on this part. You do have people, social media, when we brought up, it says it's altered everything. That's why I call it a technology. It's literally innovated all industries everywhere. It's
all
not
media.
just
it's about altering perceptions, books.
Yeah, there's one thing about the
media, music.
there's one thing about the internet, but this social media and these multiple platforms, and now they're all linking with each other. And then you having these intelligent agencies that have been spearheading this. Now they're able to move certain things through algorithms to get a message directly to you. So you have these very emotional progressives that also run large YouTube channels. They run large social media accounts. So they got on the wire and saying, we need to gerrymander like the Republicans are doing, everywhere else.
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
That happened also in California, yeah.
Even with Hakeem Jeffries. He says, we need to fight fire with fire. And you had other people that were a little bit older, men and women, because there's a couple of them I follow. I don't agree with everything that they say. But most of them were saying from the beginning, they said it's a bad strategy, and they were saying procedurally it's something actually that most of the Democrats said they've talked against. But now, you because of this situation that the Democrats find themselves in, now they're saying, well, we want to bend the laws, we want to break rules, and we want to actually fight fire with fire.
That goes back to your point, though, about some of the people who are supposed to be for the Free Gaza movement are losing their compass because Jeffrey Epstein hated the people of Gaza, and then Nick says he's for Jeffrey Epstein, but then people say, well, no, we're for Nick because he said free Gaza. How are you about freeing Gaza if you are a fan
of Nick Fuentes,
of Jeffrey Epstein, which Nick is? So, yeah, that cognitive dissonance is like, what are y'all all just like loopy? Like, it's very simple. If someone is for any of the Zionists that are in the Epstein file, they can't truly be there. They're a plant for something that more than likely is not a positive thing. Especially, he was over there with Ali Alexander that was caught with messing with teenage boys, and it's a really weird thing. Then you have Destiny, who's also a Zionist, who he talked about children look appealing along with Nick. It is a very weird thing. And then it's like people who are supposed to be a part of grassroots movements allegedly are like buddying up with people who are saying weird things that don't make sense if you're really about freeing the people of Gaza. It's really weird stuff.
Yeah, and this is, I know Sid and I know here on Thought Crimes, we try to offer lights of hope, and in whether we're telling something, anything dealing with dark stories or whatever the case is of real life.
There's always hope.
There's always hope, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's not structurally in the sense of if you're saying, you don't like what you're seeing with Trump and MAGA and all this other stuff in office, that, the Democrats in theory could not make a play, right? No, I'm not saying that it's a fatality automatically. The reason why you guys hear me say it's a loss, this is a year of midterms. They don't have an identity other than they're vying for leftovers from the far right. They're also still dog whistling like Anna, like Jink, all right, that black people's safety is unimportant. Black people being able to provide for themselves is unimportant. 300,000 black women have lost their jobs. That hasn't even been a conversation and is not brought up. They're guesstimating off the record some black men have lost their job. Magically, 500,000 white women were able to find work in this economy. So the reason why I'm saying it's not me being...
white people are scared that AI is going to take their jobs.
Right. So the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying...
It's a crazy revolving door, isn't it?
It's like LeBron James trying to get this last ring. It ain't happening. You strategically...
You can't say that. You never know that.
I do, because I'm a LeBron James historian.
Luka was injured. What do you think was going to happen? Do you think I was going to not get swept when our leading scorer behind me is like on the bench?
Well, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or not, Sam, but it's still that scheme you just came up with, it ties into it, because if black people hadn't talked about tangibles, we would have won. When you literally got 90%, 88% to 90% of black men voted, 92% of black women voted for Kamala, even though collectively black people did not like Kamala Harris. I want to be clear about that.
Especially those black people in California who said
about locking all these people up, the parents and stuff like that. So the Democrats, they still said, oh, well, we lost because like Ebro did, it was something black people did. Or like Rosenberg made a joke on the Ebro in the morning show, talk about, well, it's because Trump promised black men Cadillacs. All of that tuna fish whiteness is going to get them exactly what they're looking for in 2028.
Blaming, a lot of black people, but here's the thing that they just don't fucking get. You're dumb. Woke, for example, a word that was in black culture, got co-opted by white liberals and Zionists, and then Zionists on the conservative end. Bethany is a Zionist. Mm-hmm. She was on the left of Zionism, then she was on the right of Zionism, and then what did she create? She talked about how the left went woke, but here's the catch. She also promoted white nationalists and white supremacists. If anybody falls for any of this stuff, I don't know what to tell you, because you're just an idiot. I mean, the Epstein files didn't say black people are the reason for anything. The Epstein files said we want to get rid of black people. We want to experiment on black people, and we want to turn Gaza into a resort, and we want to exterminate Palestinians. Yeah. It's clear as day, written in the Epstein files, said by many powerful blue bloods as well. Some technocrats being in there as well. They already, so what is there to even debate?
All right. So, as it stands right now, you're going to see more of these policies take place, and it's not speculatory. When it was announced that they wanted to go after the Voting Rights Act, they put in a justice, or they, elevated a justice that this has been his thing since the 80s, that he's always wanted to get rid of it. And also people that were tied to him have also said they wanted to get rid of the Civil Rights Act, which is what you saw happen with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, with the 1,000 white men that they have, little white boys that they have, and they put them in specific places across the nation to make sure they can hold local office, so they can participate in gutting the Voting Rights Act and also the Bill of Rights. You see what happened with affirmative action, and all of these things are taking place. And like I said, notice all of a sudden, the Democrats are Mr. Magoo, they're Stevie Wonder. They can't see. They don't know what's going on. They can't figure nothing out magically. Folks, it's because, they've already made their deals.
And the truth movement is all over the place. There's no consistency. I mean, there's so
That's
many,
what I said. What's the identity?
so many Alec Jones, mini-me, no William Coopers. Very interesting situation.
We saw what happened with Alex Jones. So, look, I mean, it is what it is, folks. We just hope you guys go out and watch the Odyssey. Have fun. Yo, we did a little bit of overdrive here, so we hope this gets you to your job or at least partially through your shift this morning. We hope everything is doing good with you all. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to us on any one of our social medias. We are on Threads. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And you can support us clearly on our Patreon, too, by the way. Sin, did you have anything else you want to say?
And if you're a newbie, I just get it here because it's a part of our resume. We were the first hip-hop platform to talk about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And we did it back in 2015, 2016. Documentary on all of it as well, on Bill Clinton, Trump, everybody involved. And, we see a lot of co-opting of a lot of movements, of everything. It's like everything's being co-opted. But I'll just say this, we pay attention to everything, but whatever happens is whatever happens, in the sense of if people don't shape up and start joining together, being less egotistical, and stop being so thirsty and seeing things for what it truly is, then, we'll have a shot. But
you know what's it? They may finally halfway have an identity when they see Trump giving a State of the Union in 2028 in a wheelchair. I'm just saying, look, you and I know we read
could be
these things.
somebody else,
Yeah, I mean, look, we read this is what they said they wanted, and so far they've been able to get the Voting Rights Act. They've been able to at least proposition or propose gutting the Civil Rights Act. And so they made this grandstand about affirmative action. And again, I'll just say this. Democrats, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, they can't see in the ring. You guys know, when y'all get a few warning texts about your phone and it's about to cut off, either you're going to let the phone cut off or you're like, you know what, let me put something to the side so I can pay this bill.
I mean,
it's that simple. So it's like, do you want the republic to continue to fall apart, or is it bullshit? It's a fix-in. This is looking like a wrestling match to me, as it already has.
I choose me, I'm sorry.
Gonna play some Kendrick.
I choose me, I'm sorry. Peace out, guys.
All right, guys. We love you guys so much. Take care.
Right, got some thieves. I feel like Babylon again, a race repeat. Ayy, with clear sense, uncommon, can you see straight? Freeze frames by the blockchain, the deep state, deep fake DNA. I'm mobbing with the think tank. Be on the block with the guards, where the beats done. What makes it loud for a law, get your beat stung. Freeze frame, make it hard for bombers roll through. That hating energy get barbecue beef bump. You work a third of the day to get the same. Yeah, we got just like the murderers and rapists that you claim, that you climb. So we burn a little sage, then we raid in your spot.
Get down and get your motherfucking ass down. What that motherfucker doing? Fuck, nigga.
Full crime, cake of people, yo crime, sleeping crime, floor crime, cake of people, war crime. Said he pull crime, cake of crime, yo crime, sleeping crime, floor crime, cake of crime, war crime. Said he pull crime, cake of crime, yo crime, sleeping crime, floor crime, cake of crime, war crime. Said he pull crime, cake of crime, yo crime, sleeping crime, floor crime, cake of crime. Hey, my nigga, I ain't hating, and my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come from slaves. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating, nah. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies and some cold-blooded killers, rape and thieves. So why should I be patient?
I said he pull crime, pull crime, pull crime, slow crime, slow crime, pull crime, pull crime. Said he pull crime, pull crime, pull crime, slow crime, slow crime, pull crime, pull crime. Said he pull crime, pull crime, pull crime, slow crime, slow crime, pull crime, pull crime. Said he pull crime, pull crime, pull crime, slow crime, slow crime, pull crime, pull crime. And my nigga, I ain't hating. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come from slaves. So why you tryna get me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating. Nah. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies and some cold-blooded killers, rapists and thieves. So why should I be patient?
Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
If he dies, he dies.
Go to our Patreon for more. And don't bother me.